George Zimmerman was looking for trouble. What the hell was a 28-year-old man doing sitting in his car in the dark with a loaded gun, parked on the street on a rainy evening? This is what you do when you're looking for trouble. You arm yourself. You sneak around in the dark. You leave the safety of your car to trail a stranger, and a teenager at that. There are so many ugly implications involved in following a minor while you're carrying a loaded gun. Trayvon, on the other hand, was on a boring, mundane trip to the store. He brought with him the things he thought he'd need: some cash and his phone, both probably stuffed in his pocket. He was 17, with his whole life ahead of him. He knew he was loved by his family. He had friends who regarded him highly. He was doing okay at school. He had interests and a girlfriend. He had focus and a goal for his future. His older brother had forged the pathway to college, and Trayvon was headed there too. When you go looking for trouble, you don't take candy and a drink with you. Then there's this notion of inertia. When someone's on a certain trajectory, it takes something catastrophic to shift them from that pathway and their intended destination. Catastrophic event number 1, the rain. The rain that one 911 caller later described as pouring down. It caused Trayvon to quicken his pace at one point, running and stopping to take shelter. Then there was something else. He thought he was being followed. Well, it had to be pretty obvious to him for him to notice it, despite his phone conversation. His concern at being followed caused him to quicken his pace again. That's the second catastrophic event. His girlfriend says he thought he lost the man he felt was following him. But suddenly, there was a man right behind him. A surprise. That's the third catastrophic event. Now Trayvon knew for sure that he was being followed. And I am sure that he was confused, perplexed. He asks the man why. That's when the fourth catastrophic event happens, as his voice fell away. Was this a physical attack? Was he pushed? Was he punched? Did he see a gun? The first catastrophe, the rain, came courtesy of Mother Nature. The second through fifth were supplied by that freak of nature, George Zimmerman, which led to the sixth and final fatal catastrophe. The bullet to Trayvon's chest, again delivered by George. But for walking catastrophe, George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin would be alive today. But for George Zimmerman, the greatest catastrophe Trayvon would have faced on that night was the rain. And rain doesn't kill you. He would have made it home. What was George doing sneaking around in the dark with a gun? He was already on a trajectory of trouble. Nothing catastrophic had to happen to him. He was already on that path. It would have taken something catastrophic to shift him away from it. George Zimmerman has got to go on trial. Thanks for listening.